What's up, everyone? I am Toku Tyler, and today I have something very special to talk about. The newest thing in Rider news, the first scans of Kamen Rider 01 toys. Now, these might not be every toy in the first quarter, but it's most of the basic items we get every year, the new driver, the new weapons, and most importantly, the new gimmick for the season. So it's not everything. There are websites and everything that go over every single scan, but I have most of them. I promise. There's some I didn't really want to go over and some that I had to go over. So I just want to get these going because these things look really, really cool. So let's get started. First, we have the Hiden 01 driver, so his main driver, which looks pretty cool. I definitely like the yellowish green color that he has. It's on his suit, it's on his driver, it's on his gimmick. It's so awesome. And the driver seems to be just his, meaning that no one else can use it or no one else will use it because it's got his that yellowish green color. So I'm assuming it's going to be his only, and the design looks very technological. I love the look of this thing. It's very cool. It's got that little grasshopper emblem on there, but I think that's from the gimmick. Plus, speaking of the gimmick for this series is the Progrise keys. So it's progress and rise keys. So Progrise keys. It's so hard to say, but they're like these. They're almost these like card-like devices that each represent a different animal. So his being a grasshopper. Also, these toys could have electronics in them, from what I've heard so far about like the prices and everything, which could be cool. I like electronic gimmicks. It makes it easier, makes them more fun when you don't have the driver or something, or just to play around with them and everything. Versus something like full bottles, which don't really have anything. You just shake them and that's all. But I still love full bottles. I'm just saying, electronic gimmicks are far more fun. But they each have this part of them that seems to swing out and goes into the driver to project an image of the animal they represent. So that seems like a really cool feature, at least. I'm looking forward to these things. They're really cool looking. Now we can talk about his main form as well as the other form themes. So 01 uses the Rising Hopper Progrise key. His theme is a grasshopper, just like Kamen Rider Ichigo, which makes sense because Ichigo is the first Kamen Rider, and 01 is the first rider of the new era. So it's it kind of makes sense that he would be grasshopper themed. I like that they did that. That's really cool. It's like paying homage to Kamen Rider as a franchise. I love it. It's so cool. We are also going to continue the RKF line of figures that Gio began, but it seems like these are going to be his own line from now on, kind of thing. So we have a look at all these forms and the figures, and we get a good look at what his main form is mostly going to look like. And the RKF line is good. I personally like the RKF line, so it's probably not a bad thing that it's going to be his line of figures, but they have good enough detail and decent poses, but it's not like they're fully detailed like a figure art. But from these images, we can see what his suit is basically going to look like, and I like it. It's so cool. Also, on the topic of the forms and everything, I have a little bit of a story. Okay, so a while back, I created my own Kamen Rider idea called Kamen Rider Arc. And long story short, it was a rider whose forms were all animal themed, and that is what 01 is reminding me of, because each of his forms are each animals, which is it's kind of cool and everything. And I'm not saying they stole my idea. The idea was eventually going to happen anyway, so I'm just glad to see it realized in an actual Kamen Rider series. So it's really awesome. And each of these forms, let's see if we can go over the names. So from left to right, we have Flying Falcon, which is pretty cool. Biting Shark, Flaming Tiger, which is my favorite of the four, and then Freezing Bear, which is my other favorite. So we have a falcon, a shark, a tiger, and a polar bear. So these forms look fantastic. I think I like Freezing Bear a lot more. I don't know, just because the transparent armor that he has on, I think that looks really cool. But the tiger one, I love tigers. So these animal based forms look so good, and each of the other riders have this kind of thing, and I am looking forward to it, is what I'm saying. So on to the next part of the scans, we have the weapons for Zero One and the other riders. They each seem to transform into carrying cases that each rider takes with them, maybe. So maybe they carry it with them, or someone. I don't really know what the story's about, so I don't know how these cases are going to be given to them, or if they carry them with them at all times. I don't know, but they look cool, and I really like the shotgun one, and the sword looks cool as well. The bow might be good. I like the other two better. I just personally I'm more of a sword guy, but the gun weapon looks pretty cool too, and that's for the secondary rider, I believe. And the bow is for another rider we'll get to eventually. He's not really the third rider, but he's one of the other ones. So, also we have what it seems to be the giant upgrade thing for the series, much like the Power Dizer from Forza and stuff like that, which is the Breaking Mammoth form, or Breaking Mammoth robot or something, and I love it. It's very giant robot like, and the title Breaking Mammoth is just so cool to say. I can't wait to see how this thing looks in the show, because as of right now it's just artwork, but it still looks really cool. I can't wait for Breaking Mammoth. Now to go over the other riders in the series. Yes, I said other riders. From what I have seen so far of Zero One, the series will have about 5 riders from these scans, at least, from what I can tell, including Zero One, of course. So, first we have the secondary rider, I guess, is Kamen Rider Vulcan, who is wolf themed and has a gun mounted driver called the Ames Shot Riser. It's actually pretty cool looking. It's just weird enough to look cool. It's literally a gun mounted on a belt, and I think it's cool. I don't know. And his progress key is called Shooting Wolf. I love the names of these things. They're so awesome. And I have to say, this rider suit looks so cool. So much that I wish this was the main rider, but it's fine. I still like Zero One's design, but I'm just saying Kamen Rider Vulcan has an awesome suit. And speaking of his suit, we also have a scan. Let me see. I'm scrolling through it right now if you don't know. He also has another form, the Punching Kong Progrise key. And this is one of his other forms in his driver, so it's basically a gorilla form, and it looks really awesome, I think. And in the image, you can see the key. Below, you can see that it's the same white mask with blue eyes, and you can see the driver just above the key, so that's how you know it's him. And it's a really cool looking form. I like the it's almost black and red, or maybe like a dark brown. I like it. It's definitely a cool looking form for sure. So yeah. And next, as far as the other riders, we have Kamen Rider Valkyrie. It appears that we're going to have a female rider. I hope so. Don't quote me on that or anything. Just from what I'm hearing, this is going to be a female rider who uses a cheetah key, the Rushing Cheetah Progress key. So the suit looks pretty cool in the image. It's kind of blurry and everything, but you could tell that it's a cheetah, and her key will actually come with the progress key holders. So, in order to get her form, you need to get the holder and everything. That's usually how things go. But she also uses the aim shot riser, the same one that Vulcan uses as far as drivers. So that's pretty cool. Um, I'm looking at the form. I think it's really cool looking, and the fact that she uses the same driver as Vulcan is pretty interesting as well. So maybe they were like a team or something. And next image we have is another form for Kamen Rider Valkyrie. It is the Lightning Hornet form, which is actually pretty cool. As far as a bee, or it's a hornet, but it's like this dark blue and gold. It's so cool looking. I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool. And then next we have some. Okay, we have 2 more riders to go over. One of them we know something about, and then the other we don't really have much on except for an RKF figure design. Uh, the first one is Kamen Rider Hirobi. Hirobi will have his own transformation device, the Force Rise Driver. So we have 3 drivers so far, 3 different ones. and he will use the Sting Scorpion Progrise key to transform. And in this image, I like this image a lot because this proves what I said. There is a part of the key that swings forward, and there's a little projection on the driver, if you can see it right there. And then behind the piece that opens up is a mechanical design of a scorpion. So from what I can tell in the other images, is that all of these keys do this. You can see it in the wolf one, and you can kind of see it in the grasshopper one, I think. No, that one's really confusing to me, but it's there. You can see it in the scorpion one and the wolf one. They have like these mechanical designs for the animals, which is so awesome. I'm so hyped for this gimmick. It's just so cool. And then, like I said, he uses the bow weapon that I went over with those three attaché. He uses the attaché arrow, which is like a bow. So, and then the other ones are a shotgun for Vulcan, and then the sword is for 01, obviously. Next is the final rider, Kamen Rider Jin, Jin. And we don't really have much about him. All we do know is that he's going to use the Falcon progress key, or we expect him to arrive closer to the second quarter of the series, with any related progress keys, drivers, and weapons being released then. So, like, what I mean is, from what I've heard, he uses the Falcon one, which is one of the 01 forms that I just went over. So maybe that key will get taken or something like that. I don't know. We don't really know much about Jin at this point. So, but it seems like he uses the same driver as Hirobi. I'm not sure. I can't tell. This image is very blurry and small. It's in the RKF one. I'll try to get a zoom in on it in post, but it's that's okay. I like that he's using the Falcon one. I like that there's 5 riders that we know of already. So we know from what I can tell, Hirobi's evil is gonna be like an evil rider, sort of like a Genmu, and then maybe Jin will be his partner, kind of thing. I don't know, but all I can say is the drivers. We have 3 different drivers. They all look cool. The gimmick is definitely something I'm looking forward to. The forms are fantastic. It's more than I could have hoped for as far as animal themed riders. And yeah, that's pretty much it for these scans. I think they're really, really cool. There's also something, there's a couple more things that I don't have the scans for, but there are these upgrade forms for 01 and Vulcan. So 01 gets the Shining Hopper, so it's like this really golden version of the Grasshopper one. And then Vulcan has the Assault Wolf, I think. Yeah, it's the Assault Wolf upgrade thing. It's really cool looking. I'll try to get the scans. If they're showing up now, then I did it. But they're really cool looking. I think they're definitely something to look forward to as well. They're like super forms of the gimmick, which is really awesome. So a lot of things I just went over. It all looks really good, and I cannot wait for the series. Can't wait for some info on the story of the characters and everything. I'm super hyped for 01. I cannot wait to see what these toys are like or anything. It's just super cool. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.